Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I have something very important to share with you guys, and something that all Bitcoin holders needs to be aware of. So I'm going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin today. There's a special meeting that everyone's waiting for. There's a new variant that's causing some scare, right? But more importantly, I do want to talk about something very, very important, and it relates to altcoins. So, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Although, fortunately today, yes, I'm 30 minutes late. I apologize, so make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there. I know fear level is still high. There's a lot of fear in crypto right now. And I realize it's natural to panic, to be fearful, right? But I do want to talk about why you should ignore that and why you should be in the game. Now, first of all, there's a lot of people waiting for the Fed minutes. And, the Fed minutes is basically just a report of what was discussed weeks ago. So we kind of know what Chairman Powell already has planned in terms of tapering, in terms of decreasing how much bonds they plan on buying, and also increasing rates sometime this year. But I guess people are looking at the very small details of what they're looking at, what metrics they're looking at before they start hiking up rates, right? But beforehand, you could see that the Dow is going up, but tech is falling. So this could play into what's going on with Bitcoin right now, because we are seeing how Bitcoin's a little bit correlated right now with tech stocks. Whenever tech falls, Bitcoin seems to fall with it, and when tech goes up, Bitcoin tends to go with it. So there is some correlation right now, not just with the overall equities market, but more specifically with the tech market. Now, in addition to this, there is, unfortunately, another new variant identified in France. I don't know, how mild or how strong this is. We know that Omicron is very mild right now. It's fast spreading, but seems to be very, very mild. So I don't know what this new one is, and I don't know what the future is going to bring. There could be many other variants that come out, and there are countries now, again, forcing lockdown, restrictions, travel restrictions, quarantine, curfew. I mean, there's a whole world is all over the place. Okay, but this could be causing some panic, some fear right now too, with some of the equity markets like the tech sector, right? So there's a couple things going on. Okay, and this is the reason why Bitcoin has not been moving. And I know fear is out there, fear is high. Some of you guys are waiting. What's going on? You're thinking about giving up. Well, I have some positive stuff to share with you guys right now. But more importantly, something else that I want you guys to be paying attention to, because I'm going to present something to you that will open your eyes. Okay? Now, one thing to note is Bitcoin is very, 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 very scarce. And this shows you that the illiquid supply continues to rise. It is now at 76%. So the long-term holders, the big whales, the institutions that bought, none of them are selling right now. 76% of the total supply of the circulating supply, okay, is held and not moving. Only 24% is considered liquid, and this is what people are, the retail investors, the guys that can't stand it, they're the ones that may be selling right now. But 76% of the entire supply is not selling and continues to hodl. Okay? That's very important. That's one of the biggest things you can say about Bitcoin, is that, yeah, there's a lot of strong hands. Definitely a lot of people that believe and continue to hold. So that is very important. And as the liquid supply keeps dropping and dropping and dropping, and take a look, it's at the same point Same point right now as April and May of 2021. And why is that important? Why is that important? Because it shows you, like right now, where versus before, the price difference was vastly different, right? Vastly different. So it does show you that even though the price is lower now versus, say, April when Bitcoin was at 64,000, the holders continue to buy and hodl and buy and hodl, while the retail investors may be scared out of the market right now. Okay, so liquid supply, first of all, is going up. Now, if you're a TA guy, you'll probably notice this. On a monthly scale, the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index, which measures oversold, overbought levels. For Bitcoin, it is at a same point, the oversold level, same point that Bitcoin was when it was first around $10,000. So yes, even though Bitcoin has gone up and down over the last year or so, right now Bitcoin is at the same oversold level as Bitcoin when it was first at $10,000, and we are roughly 4.7x higher. So think about that, right? Think about it. So to put things in perspective, not nearly as bad as before, right? Before breaking 10,000, that was a forever wait. I'll tell you that. From experience, that was a forever wait. This is nowhere near that. Nowhere near as bad as that. All right, and there's other good news. For example, there's a Nasdaq trade company now that's going to offer Bitcoin dividends. So you still see adoption of Bitcoin, especially with big companies. We know MicroStrategy and Tesla and others, right? But there's a lot of others that's coming too. They're starting to embrace Bitcoin in a big way. So we're still seeing adoption growing. So that's very positive as well. So that's what I want to show you for Bitcoin. Overall, know that the long-term holders are continuing to hodl and they're continuing to buy more. That's why liquid supply is going up. Miners are not selling. They have come out with their reports, their Q1, Q2 reports, or I should say Q3, Q4 reports. Nothing but holding. They're not selling anything. And we're still seeing adoption growing. So overall, Bitcoin is just fine. And you just have to be patient. We will get through this slump. Like all the slumps we had in 2021 and all the slumps we had in 2020 and 2019, 2018. You guys get the picture, right? All right. So with that said, that's Bitcoin. That's what I want to lead off with, right? Now, there is something else I want you guys to pay attention to. And that is the rising dominance of altcoins. And I'm going to show you some things that will kind of open your eyes or blow your mind if you haven't been paying attention. Because as gloomy or as fearful it may seem right now, the altcoin market has actually been doing very well. In fact, it has been even stronger than Bitcoin. So it's very important to make note of that, because I do believe being diversified is a very positive thing right now. If you aren't diversified, I know there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there. If you're not diversified right now, you're doing yourself a disservice. And here's why. First of all, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. And I've talked about this many times. If you go back previous years, it's way, way higher. But Bitcoin dominance started 2021, okay, above 60%. In fact, it doesn't even go out this high, but let me just do this. Let's do all. Okay, so it started a year in 2021 around here. That's close to like 65-70%. And within the 1 year, it fallen from about 65-70% all the way down to below 40%. And you could see that it's been pretty consistent. There has been no substantial rises. And in fact, you could argue that it has been doing nothing but going down. That's not a knock against Bitcoin. That's an endorsement for altcoins, because altcoins have been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And here's a point to that. take a look at this. The total value locked, okay? You could see going back to 21, it was basically non-existent. Now in 2022, it's sitting at 254 billion. But what you may have noticed is the total value locked of all the tokens, of all the coins on these chains, you notice that it's still at all-time high. It has not broken down. You could see right now versus back in November versus back in December, the total value locked is virtually the same. So despite the fact that Bitcoin has come down, the market cap has come down a little bit, and I have something interesting to say about that. The total value locked has not moved at all. Not one bit. And it shows you the strength of L1s and DeFi plays because people are simply believing and utilizing them and making money, passive income, like what I showed you guys last night in terms of staking rewards and just utilizing it to make passive income. And many people are doing that and compounding upon that and even making some serious gains with that. So this number one kind of shows you why L1s and network protocols and altcoins in general have been holding very, very, very well. And also, let's take a look at this. So Coin360, I'm working with them right now, and because I think they're pretty cool. You look at the heat map of the overall market today. Obviously, Bitcoin and ETH are the big boys, but then you have some others that's broken out, right? Not everything is in red. So if you look at, say, other, so this has some of the big L1s out there. Like today, VeChain is doing very, very well. I'm really glad to see it. I have something to show about that. Near Protocol also doing very well. And you can see several greens. This is 1 day performance. But if you go back 7 days, well, then you'll see that a little bit more green. But if you go back 1 month, you'll see almost everything is in green, right? It kind of shows you that, yeah, these L1s have been doing very well. Maybe not the past day or maybe not the past week, but even if you go back a month, and we know that Bitcoin has been struggling ever since November. So even when it was struggling, many of these L1s were not. Same thing. If you go into just under Ethereum tokens, projects that utilize some kind of ERC20 token, you could see that there's many, even today, that's in green. Phantom is doing good. Chainlink is doing fantastic. Theta, Uniswap, I mean, KCS, these are projects, Chili's. These are all related, right? And if you look at, well, you go back 7 days, many more is in a green, deep green. And then you go back 1 month, there's even more green, right? So it kind of shows you that a lot of these projects, I mean, look at it, even like Phantom's up 77%, Aave's up 35%, Chainlink up 32%, right? These are substantial gains. So it does show you that L1s, network protocols specifically, and DeFi plays have actually been gaining strength, right? It hasn't been a consistent uprise, but over the last few months, over the last year, they have been slowly gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining more strength, right? So right now, what's the point to all this? Bitcoin holders need to pay attention to the fact that, yeah, altcoins, crypto overall is growing. It's definitely growing, and the strength is growing, and many of these projects have the capability to stand on their own. They're starting to decouple away from Bitcoin. That is why you need to be diversified. If you're not diversified, in my opinion, you're doing yourself a disservice right now, because they are very, very strong and they continue to get stronger. That's why I cover so much about these L1s, even Ethereum. You know, even Ethereum and others like Matic and Aave and Avalanche and Terra and Polygon and Phantom and Harmony, right? Even Near, many people like Hedera, Tezos, they're all gaining strength right now, right? But imagine if the market, and this is during like iffy consolidation period for Bitcoin. Imagine when the market roars, when Bitcoin comes back to life and continues higher, how much faster these will move, right? They're actually moving really well right now. Imagine when the market, entire market is doing very well, how much more they're going to be moving, right? So I think it's very important right now. That's what I wanted to say. Recently, I've been talking about redoing my, portfolio allocation, the 50-25-25 rule, right? Thinking about redoing that. I am thinking about it and working on it. I think it's more important than ever, especially in 2022, because I do think this trend will continue. L1s and DeFi projects will continue to get stronger, and it's definitely advantageous to be a little bit more heavy into them. So stay tuned for that video. I will be working on that. All right, last few things just want to talk about real quick. Some of you guys may have noticed that Near has been going up quite a lot. Just looking at their Twitter, it does seem like they have a hackathon going on right now. But Near overall is a promising L2 actually, but now turned L1. Actually, if you look at their mission statement, they wanted to create something that helps Ethereum scale, but rather than do that, they just decided to build in a whole brand new L1. They have sharding available to make them very scalable, and they're still building an ecosystem very well backed by some big players like Coinbase, right? They're still building out an ecosystem, but they have been absolutely killing it recently. And this has helped them even more today. I guess their hackathon is going very well, very well. Second of all, VeChain has been doing very fantastic, and that's because of this. A lot of excitement over their new stablecoin and what this means for DeFi and Web 3.0. They really needs it. They really need it. I mean, they don't and they do. From a B2B standpoint, they don't need to. From a B2C standpoint, from a standpoint of making people excited and buying VET and making it go up, this is definitely important. So this is also something that is causing excitement. And finally, you guys may have noticed Chainlink is finally moving up. There's really not any big news about Chainlink. If you look at their Twitter, it's all about new projects, even NFT projects that are utilizing Chainlink. But that's no surprise. What I'm really excited about is their new CCIP bridge, which should be opening soon, sometime in Q1. And it's going to give dApp makers so much room to grow because there's 12 chains that's utilizing Chainlink and hundreds of projects, thousands of projects. And now utilizing a bridge, basically any of these projects can talk to each other across all these 12 chains, right? It's very exciting. And overall, I think they've just been oversold for a little bit too long. And same thing with VeChain. VeChain is oversold too. So there you go. That's it. That is it. All right, guys. Now let's do some Q&A. What happened to Spark Point? Seems like the team is not delivering. It's on the roadmap and the project is dying. Is it buying? I don't know. Spark Point, I'm vaguely familiar with. I kind of forgot what they're all about. Jason says, do I stake at all? No, I utilize projects to earn rewards, but not officially staking. But I do want to. One of the things I mentioned yesterday was about getting 20% APY, basically staking Terra USD inside of Anchor. So that actually looks very good because Terra USD, we know, it's a stable coin. It's an algorithmic stable coin, but still pegged to a dollar. So there's no volatility there. And if you're just staking in an Anchor and making 20% APY, why would you not want to take advantage of it, right? So I do utilize some of these centralized projects to earn rewards right now. But I actually do want to actually stake an Anchor. I think that's very, that's too good to pass up. Let's see here. Master Jedi just said look at Chainlink. I did mention Chainlink. George, I failed my interview at McDonald's. Any suggestion on getting them to reconsider? Tell them George sent you. And tell them we're all George. And then, you know what? I think they'll reconsider. Let's see here. Marco says retail is buying BDC while whales are buying alt from. No, I think it's the exact opposite. There's been many, well, not many, but recently there's been some metrics that show that retail interest in Bitcoin has died down significantly. But institutional interests have gone up a lot with Bitcoin. Most of these alts, I think, is being bought by retail. There is institutional interest in altcoins, especially some of the bigger L1s. But for the most part, retail, it's the opposite of what you just said. What are the upcoming trends in crypto world? Peter, Peter. I think it's going to be more of the same of 2021, but I think there's going to be more trends with metaverses and brands getting in metaverses and NFTs. But I think the big thing, what I'm really excited about, is the growth and evolution of DeFi. 2021 has to be the year of the L1s because of growth of DeFi. And I think that will continue on. I think that's going to continue on. I think that's the biggest thing to pay attention to in 2022. Let's see. Chad says George definitely keeps me in check. I appreciate that. That's what I'm here to do. Harmony One Love. Yup. Radium is one of the Radium is one of the DeFi projects, native DeFi projects for Solana. So they have an interesting setup where it's like they're decentralized, but they have a centralized order book. It's kind of interesting how they work, if I recall correctly. And many projects and many DEXs within and lending projects within Solana utilize Radium for that order book. It's like a decentralized order book. I shouldn't say centralized. So they have a unique setup, but it is one of the promising projects within Solana. Let's see. UST is a scam? No. Terra USD is not a scam. No, it is not. It's actually 10 billion now, over 10 billion. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, it's actually become a big cap. It's the largest algorithmic stablecoin there is by far. And it's used within Terra's ecosystem, but it's now used across many other chains, which is why Terra has gone up so much, because of the growth of Terra USD. And like I said, you can stake Terra USD and Anchor and get 20% APY. I mean, that's unbelievable, right? So that may be something I'm going to be doing. Okay, now I caught up to the chat. In case you guys don't know, whenever I'm done, I always scroll up first because I know I miss a lot of questions, and I scroll down. So sometimes things are out of order. Do you think interest rates this year will destroy the markets? I think this is why, tech is selling off. I started this stream saying, the people are waiting for Fed minutes. Tech falls, right? A lot of people are changing. They're afraid of rate hikes. They're afraid of what was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh, bonds rate bonds going up, right? I guess just so whenever that happens, Wall Street tends to sell off stocks and move their money into safer bets, commodities and other sectors, right? So right now, unfortunately, it seems like Bitcoin is following the tech sector. Whenever tech goes up, Bitcoin does well. When tech goes down, Bitcoin goes down right now. But unlike tech and tech stock, what makes Bitcoin different is the scarcity factor. Bitcoin, though, is a tech, but it is the new store of value, and it's very different, and it's very scarce. I talked about that many times. Even today, 76% of it is out of circulation, not being traded, not being moved, right? And that number continues to climb while the liquid supply keeps decreasing. So that's going to be the deciding factor, that it's just getting more and more scarce. Can you explain ZK rollups, how they work? No, I can't. I'm not a technical guy, but the dumbed down version is that basically ZK rollups will process transactions off chain and then the results put back on chain. So it's utilizing a separate layer. So with that separate layer, that's how you could add in privacy, but also make it scalable. So if you utilize, say, ZK rollups on top of Ethereum, basically it's like a layer 2, right? But now in terms of technical things it does, I can't explain that, but in essence, that's what it does. So, has Star Atlas proved its staying power? I think so. It hasn't dropped, but ultimately, what is going to make it succeed is how good is the game, right? It's a very hyped up game, but how good is it? Well, let's see, 3 months. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much bottomed out, and bottoming out, still holding a 221 million market cap. That's not bad. The one concern is look at the circulating supply versus total. It's only at 6%. So I'm assuming most of the tokens are reserved for NFTs. You tend to see this with many NFT projects, games, and just NFT marketplaces and other things that relate to NFTs. There tends to be a ton of tokens left unlocked, left locked, uncirculating to be released later, right? So it could put some pressure, but then again, when they do, it's usually because of market demand. So I'd say we just have to see how good the game is once it comes out. Tall Cigar says, I almost sold a few days ago, but decided to keep it. I have 7.3 and staking at 6%. See, this is one of the reasons why L1s are so strong right now. I mean, this is a telling thing. The market went down, obviously, from its peak. But look at TVL. So this is across all the DeFi projects out there, across every single chain out there, or major chain, right? And the TVL has stayed the same. It has not dipped at all, not significantly. And this is the reason why, because many people that are long-term holders are like, why should I sell? I'm going to be holding anyways, maybe DCing along the way. But right now, while I'm holding it, why not lock it into something and earn interest? Earn 6, 7, 10, 12, 14, 20%? Why would you not take advantage, right? So, exactly the point. Andrew asks, George, is crypto the future? Yes, it definitely is. It's already changed a lot of people's perception of how things could be done, with finance specifically, but also with fundraising, with how to build a project, with governance. I mean, there's just a lot of things that come with it. It's still very early. Very, very early. As big as these projects seem like they are, it's still so early versus, let's say, in 5 years. I mean, the landscape is going to be completely different in 5 years. It's not going to be recognizable. I stake Luna on their station around 8%. Gas fees goes up with rewards to make only rewards when withdrawing a little UST. Any ideas? I don't know, T-Bone, what you're asking. Is there a question there? I don't know what you're asking. VVS Finance, they've gone down a lot. I mean, they're DEX. They're first AMM DEX on Kronos chain, right? But they seem very vanilla. I've seen them before. They haven't. I mean, they're not very, very different than any other AMMs, right? So they're 110 market cap. Oh, they had a pretty big dip today. Someone sold them off. Let's see, 1 month, 3 months. Yeah, very hyped up early on. Not sure why they were hyped up and just dumped there. But, I mean, this is a big concern. One of the reasons why I didn't like VVS Finance early on, before I knew what it was, and people asked me to look at it, I'm like, this is horrible. This is, the denomination of the price is horrible, right? Why do you need so many zeros? And then you look at it and you realize it's only 2% of the circulating supply is out. 2% out of the total supply. And the total supply is 1/3 of the max supply. So, yeah, that doesn't look good. I don't know why AMM needs to have token economics like this. So when I first saw this, I thought it had to be a scam, right? Like or maybe not a scam, a meme token or something. But it turned out they were actually a legit project. But I have no idea why they made it like this. So actually, I do understand why they dumped, because there's just way too many, and there could be unlocking periods where there's more VVS being pumped on the market. So yeah, looking at that now that I've realized that once again, I would not be in that. Antonio said, even if we go to 0, I'll still love you, George. I appreciate that. I don't believe that'll ever happen, but it's good to know if it does, at least I have you on my side. Hollywood Superfly. I'll send an email with the. I don't know what you mean. Are you trying to say that you hacked all my accounts? I don't know what you're trying to say. Yep, get almost 20% on Terra. That's what I covered yesterday. I think it's pretty good. Tisu says Spark Point looks worse than VVS. Well, if it looks worse, then why do you want me to look at it? It's probably worse. Spark Point. Yeah, I mean, when something is like this, there had to have been like some kind of bad thing. Today and yesterday, huge drops, so there must be something going on with the project. A rug pull or a hack or vulnerability or something. Otherwise, it would not be moving like this. So yeah, there's something going on with it. Random guy says, I bought 20K Cadena, down about 7 to 8K. I'm hurting. Can Cadena get back up this year? I believe so. I believe Cadena is on the right path. There's a lot of exciting things about them. So if anything, I would say DCA. I mean, recently they've fallen below $10. They were like 9 something. I think under $9 is actually a pretty good buy for them. But if you're not buying, just continue to hodl. We will get past this. We will come back up. Let's see. Thoughts on Tezos and Orion Protocol. Orion I've kind of just given up on. There's too many similar terminals like Orion. Early on, it seemed like they're pretty cool aggregator of all kind of liquidities, but now there's just so many out there. And Tezos is a promising L1. They have a lot of things going on. The Solana restart, was that FUD? Well, they had to do it before because of a massive DDoS attack. And they got hit a couple times. The second time was really quick. They resolved it. I don't know if there's a third one. People are like asking about it. I didn't hear about it. There could have been a third one. Let's see. UFO, a lot of people ask about UFO. So their NFT marketplace will be on Cadena, but right now they're on Ethereum, right? Strangely enough, I don't know why any project, especially like a gaming project would be on Ethereum, but I'm pretty sure they plan on moving off. Overall, I mean, they're holding strong. You can see they kind of, off from their high, but they kind of found a base, and they're a 550 million market cap. Their entire supply is already out, 100% of circuit supply. So unlike the other projects I've shown you guys today, where the circuit supply is below 10%, 100% has been released. So that's pretty good. You know that it's not going to be diluted anymore. This is it. Total max supply already done, right? So that's actually pretty good if you look at it from a token economic standpoint. But it really depends on the game once it comes out. So. But I didn't even pay attention to it. That's a big plus for UFO gaming. That 100% of the tokens is already out. You don't see that often. You don't see that often at all. Anything else? VeChain is pumping. I talked about VeChain, you know, ever since VUSD came out. I still think VUSD would be better if it was an algorithmic stablecoin. I think VeChain should have looked at what Terra did and made it algorithmic stablecoin so that in order to mint it, you have to burn VET. I think that would have been a better thing. But I think it's more complicated for VeChain to do because they're already dual token. VThor for transactions, for gas fees, and then VET for the governance thing. So maybe it's difficult to do, but I think they should have done that. But regardless, having a stable coin and building that DeFi infrastructure is very, very promising. Very, very promising. They definitely need a DeFi. It's definitely the future, and they need to get involved, and they are now. So why is Flux doing so well? Zelcore is one of the native wallets for Cadena. Flux just got a lot of attention ever since Cadena got popular. Also, they're working with a lot of Cadena projects like CADX, and also UFO is working with CADX. I mean, so it's all like one big happy family right there. Please, Filecoin has burned my wallet. That doesn't make any sense. They didn't burn any wallet. Tiberius says, been staring at this McDonald's application for a few weeks now. Should I? If you need to get extra money, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You know, people always tell me, George, you say DCA, but I have no money. Well, unfortunately, then you can't DCA. You could just continue to hold it. But if you want to DCA, you want to take advantage of low prices, what do you have to do? Well, you have to have money, right? This is why you need to have money on the side so that you can take advantage. Right? And if you don't have money, well, then you gotta hustle for some, right? Most of you guys have a job, or if you don't, then get a second job or hustle and do something to make extra cash. If you don't have that cash, you can't invest, right? It's really as simple as that. So to answer your question, if you really need it, go for it. Whatever you're making, even McDonald's is paying like $16, $18 an hour, which is no joke. You can take that and you can invest and compound it, and it'll make it all worth it. Not a fan of Render. IoTX, I'm kind of neutral on. I think they're interesting, but they're not really an L1. They're like more of a chain for IoT devices. So they're technically an L1, but not really contracting as smart contracts and stuff. They're more like... they're just more like a chain for IoT devices. So, I mean, it's just neutral. Comment on Polkadot's. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. One of the ones for Polkadot. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, stay strong. Don't panic. There's a couple things that's weighing the market down, right? And Bitcoin can stay at this level for a little bit. But know that it will recover. You just have to be patient. But the other message is this. L1s and network protocols and altcoins, they're getting stronger. And you should you should be paying attention. I was going to say not pay attention. That doesn't make sense. So you should be paying attention. Be diversified. And I'm going to talk about more about this going forward. But I do believe that they're only going to get stronger as DeFi continues to expand. And it's really helping these projects stand on their own. And there's more things to come. So thanks for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.